afternoon, folks. Today I'd like to explain something about the relationship between abiogenesis and evolution. Apparently, me as a creationistic, messianic, geonistic type of Christian, I have to explain to you, atheists and secular scientists, how your own beloved evolution, abiogenesis theory seems to work, how non-living goodies, chemicals, came alive. Because apparently you don't understand your own theories. And, well, I made a little schedule over here. I scribbled something on the paper, and which is, by the way, scientifically well funded and well known. But, well, for you, unfortunately, as atheist beings, for you, unfortunately, nothing of it is being proven to be correct. And I'll show you where the link is and between abiogenesis and evolution, and why one cannot exist without the other. Apparently, I get many questions from, hey, yeah, abiogenesis and evolution, they do not belong together, they are separate theories and blah, 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 blah. No, they are not. They belong together. And I'll show you why they belong together. Okay, for that reason, I'm going to show you this paper over in front of me. Now here, I have a schedule. I have a schedule of both theories, the hypothesis of abiogenesis and evolution, and how they are linked. Well, abiogenesis hypothesizes that chemicals like ammonia, carbon dioxide, water, methane, some kind of phosphate, whether it's phosphate acid or a potassium phosphate or some sodium phosphate, whatever kind of phosphate. At least you need some phosphate. You require some sulfur-containing component, whether it's H2S or the rotting egg smelling stuff, and some kind of sulfate, because you need it for the amino acids. Well, all these gases and components are put under some energy stress or energy input, and then supposedly it would gain amino acids, which would gain proteins, it would gain DNA or RNA, and it would require lipids or gain lipids and soapy-like components. You need some soapy-like components to, why? Because you have to create micelles, or micelles, or how do you call these things in English. And that these components, the proteins, the RNA, they are supposed to go into these micelles, and you get some kind of free cells, and from that you get some kind of living cells. Well, this is abiogenesis. This whole process is called abiogenesis. And to be honest, this process has never ever being verified chemically. This is a purely chemical supposed to be process. Now, I'm a chemist, and in chemistry, for example, in order to make ammonia from nitrogen and hydrogen, there is known a chemical process to make ammonia. And but the process of ammonia, making ammonia, needed to be verified by other researchers in order to get a scientific status for a production schedule. Because if this doesn't work, and ammonia is of course very known and required for making fertilizers and for agricultural stuff. So the process, the supposed hypothetical process to make ammonia needed to be verified in order to make a commercial kind of ammonia. That has happened for ammonia, for methane, for alcohol, for acetone, for all kinds of chemicals. And it also, science requires that it's also tested for the supposed abiogenesis process. Well, science, the requirement of science of proving that this process from chemicals to living cells has never, ever been proven to be correct. Why not? Because living cells, as we know them, yeah, they are highly complex. They are more complex than whatever we as beings have made. Now, where is the link with evolution? This is the evolution side, and you can see that as long as abiogenesis has not happened, there is nothing to evolve. There is simply nothing. So in the time that the supposed abiogenesis took place, and according to the theory, this took several millions or billions of years, then this can never happen because there is nothing to evolve. The link between abiogenesis, the hypothesis of abiogenesis and evolution, is where there is a living cell. Only then you can have the process of evolution. From that moment on, the hypothesis of evolution could have been taken place if it takes place at all. But that's unfortunately, it doesn't take place at all. Variation, yes, that's what we see, but no evolution. We don't see evolution. But here is the link. If you don't have this link from living cells produced by abiogenesis, then there is no such thing as evolution. Well, this whole process has never ever been proven to be correct. And if, I really stress out the if, because if this will ever be proven, then you will also see that it really requires an enormous input of intelligence, so which is a proof of intelligent design. So no matter whether this is going to be proven yes or no, to the left or to the right, it will prove that you need intelligence to make a living cell, because a living cell is highly organized. This process can never come to be by spontaneous processes. It can never be. If this will ever be proven, then it will also be automatically a proof of intelligent design, because you will see that all these components like this, these are called the building blocks. The amino acids and the proteins, the DNA, RNA, lipids, and soapy-like components, these are called the building blocks. But a building block is never proof for a living cell, because it takes a lot of time or a lot of effort going from building blocks to living cells. There's a huge gap in between here and here. You can have building blocks as many as you like, but if the spontaneous processes are not making of these building blocks a living cell, then this gap is unbridgeable. And there will never be a living cell if based on that. And that has never been proven. Building blocks, yes, I don't care how many building blocks you have. I mean, I have a lot of building blocks in my closet. I have sugars. Oh, sugar, by the way, sugars. Oh, I forgot sugars. Oh. Sugars, salts, etc. Well, okay. That's what that's called. But the thing is, the whole process of getting these components from bare components to building blocks of these processes do not happen. Especially not the protein formation from amino acids, the DNA RNA formation from the phosphate things together with the sugars, because you need sugars, you need phosphates, and you need bases in order to get DNA or RNA. You need that, but the hydrolysis is way much higher than the formation of proteins, than the formation of DNA or RNA. The hydrolysis, especially in what they suppose that the Earth was, in a watery environment, there's a lot of water. There was a lot of water, so hydrolysis is the main reaction that takes place instead, and that is opposing the formation of proteins, and it is opposing the formation of DNA, RNA, from sugars, from bases, the RNA bases ATG and C, and the phosphate things. The hydrolysis takes over. It's much stronger than the rest. So if this cannot be proven to be correct, then evolution can never. This is the link that you have living cells as we know them to have some kind of hypothetical evolution, because living cells, they are supposed to evolve to cell colonies, and cell colonies are supposed to evolve to higher order organisms, and they are supposed to go to plants and animals and water plants and land plants, animals, water animals and land animals, and then via that to airborne animals and us, via apes, chimps and apes, and then us. But if this cannot happen, then this link is missing. This is a missing link. Oh, sorry. Then this is a missing link. Because if this does not happen, then there is nothing to evolve. Then this whole process is also not valid. And that is why evolution and abiogenesis, the coming to be of life via purely chemical synthesis routes, is not valid. It's a non-valid theory. This is not being proven, and if it is proven, then it's only proof for intelligent design, because you need a highly intelligent system to make living cells, if it is possible at all. And it's not possible. Nobody has proven this process to be correct. And that is why abiogenesis and evolution is a lie. It's not science. If you want to believe that this has happened, fine. That's fine. If you want to believe it, fine. But it's no science. It is religion. If you believe that this process has happened, then it's purely religious. You believe that it happened. Nobody was there supposedly 4.5 billion years ago. I mean, even that is questionable, and those time scales. But I'm not talking about these time scales. And these time scales are not my problem. I mean, if you say, well, yeah, it takes billions of years, is that my problem? I don't care that you have a problem with non-existent billions of years. That's not my problem. I don't believe it in anyhow. So, but if you want to believe that this has happened, fine. Build your own evolution church, worship bones, worship stones and chemicals. Fine, go ahead, but don't call it science as long as this is not proven to be correct. And don't indoctrinate our children with these lies, because this is not scientific. This whole hypothetical process is not scientific. You need to prove this chemistry first before you can say that evolution is a valid theory, because they are linked together here. If this is not true, then this is not true as well. And this is not true in itself, but it can never happen in the first place if this has not happened first. Okay, this is what I wanted to share. I hope you understand it, because I get a lot of questions about this subject, and I'm sick and tired of it. And based on the discussion with some guys, I decided to make this movie, and I hope you understand it. If you want to believe this, fine, but don't call it science, call it a religion. It has nothing to do with science, it's a religion. This is what I want to share. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Hasta la vista. Bye-bye.